So welcome to another episode for Surround Yourself with Greatness. I'm really excited about this episode because he's one of my favorite human beings. He's humble, he's funny, and I think you guys are gonna love the episode. Come. Hey guys, Kuda Biza here. Welcome to another episode of Surround Yourself with Greatness. And today I am surrounded by greatness via Accra, Ghana. And this guy is super amazing. You probably have seen him with something to do about Friday. And it's probably made you laugh a couple of times. But I'm chilling with my boy, my brother, and my friend, Jeffrey Obeng, aka Move.
I'm doing great. How are you?
Hey, the African accent, you have to turn it on. But anyway, I wanted to bring you on the podcast for a couple of reasons. Number one, I've seen your journey from kind of like when you were starting out to where you are right now. And a lot of people might not know, we're actually related through marriage.
Yeah.
And tell me a little bit about your earlier childhood years. Did you even want to be an actor, a comedian, or perhaps your parents were telling you, be a doctor, be a lawyer, go to school, study hard? Tell me a little bit about your childhood and your aspirations when you were a kid.
Right. So, as a kid, born in the Bronx, New York, BX represents BX.
Woo,
Yes,
woo,
yes,
woo.
yes. My parents migrated from Ghana, like you said, Ghana, Accra. And, as a kid, we would bounce from city to city, state to state. And in those moments, they decided to have an African grocery store,
Right.
So I was brought up to work through that in my earlier years.
Right.
So it's kind of like a by force thing. Like you have to.
You have to work, you have to grind.
Yeah. So they showed me in my early years that, you got to work for, what you want. You got to grind for what you want. And it was kind of one of those things, a mandatory thing, And I've learned to embrace that, but at the same time learned to hate it because it's not what I truly wanted. It's just I wanted it because they wanted it.
Right. To make your parents happy.
Exactly. And I see that. That's how a lot of, African households. I'm probably not even only African, but a lot
Even
of households.
I have friends from India who've
Exactly.
gone through similar things. So
Yeah.
a lot of different ethnicities have kind of like that grounding.
Right. So that was my early stages, early years of, me growing up. And I didn't have aspirations of becoming an actor or doing comedy or anything in that nature. It was just, I didn't really have the choices, to do
Right.
that. So it was never in my mind to do so.
So what happened then? Because, at some point you made the decision to say like, hey, this social media thing, I want to pursue it.
Right.
So tell me a little bit about what triggered you to start creating content on social media.
So to rewind back a little bit, I was in, I don't know what year it was, but I was going to VCU, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I had kicked out, right? So
VC, that's what, Virginia College or?
Commonwealth University.
Okay, Commonwealth University.
Right.
So you
So-
got kicked out?
Right. Okay, let me reiterate that. My mom decided to drag me out of it because my pops was
Right.
Yeah, so she wanted me to take care of the shop, to take care of the
Oh.
store, and so I was really depressed, man.
So your mom took you out of college so you can run the business?
Correct.
Okay.
So I was in the business. I mean, I was going to college. It's funny because I was going to college for IT. I wanted to do IT because I was trying to enhance the business technology-wise.
Right.
But no, I wasn't. I was just trying to do something different. But anywho, so that happened, and I was like really, really depressed because I'm like, all my peers are, you know, about to go to school, going
They're
to
moving
college,
on in life.
yeah, and I'm here waking up at 6 a.m., 5 a.m. to go to the store.
And during
at
the
7
winters,
a.m. Oh my!
it's crazy,
It was
right?
so depressing for me, and man, that's probably like one of my lowest points ever in my life that I faced, you know,
Right.
growing up. And it wasn't until 2016, like the end of 2016, man, I remember going to church on the 31st night, December, and I was like praying to God, like, man, I'm not doing anything with my life, man.
I need
Like,
something.
yeah, I need change. I need God, please answer my prayers. And I don't know, I was just hopeless at that point. And social media just, I don't know, it just happened organically. I think I seen my sister, my little sister, shout out to Harriet, that's my youngest sister.
Right.
I seen her trying to do videos and all those
Right,
things.
right.
And I'm like, how do you do it? Like, how do you edit? And I'm asking her all these things.
So she actually helped you?
She gave me like what software to use.
The initial push and all that
like
stuff.
software and stuff like that. So I asked her those things, and she was able to provide it for me, and I was able to figure it out. And the more I kept working on it, the more I was doing it. And one day I just decided to just shoot something and just put it out just to make people laugh. And
It worked.
No, it did not work. It definitely didn't work. It was just one of those things. I wasn't even looking at it in a way to like go viral.
Right.
I was just looking at it just to make the people that initially follow me just to laugh.
Right.
So that's just how it started.
Well, what was that first video about? The one that you're talking about?
I think it was a video of me dancing to some Orlando Brown. He did some thing going like ah la la boom boom. I don't know. It was some video, and
All right.
they made it into a song, and I was dancing to that song.
All right. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna find that video and we'll put a link to it
No,
in the
please
description,
Do not find that video.
so you can see where you started. Because I think it's super important for the people to know that you see all of these influencers who have reached significant milestones, but they don't start there.
Yeah.
So I think it's important to see the before and after. So I'm gonna go find it
Please
and
do
I'll
not.
put it in the description so
Don't
people
do
can
that.
watch it. We'll make it go viral.
Please don't.
Okay. So you started putting out content.
Yeah.
And which piece do you think was kind of like the one where you were like, I think I can actually do this consistently and build something out of this?
Like which video?
Yeah.
I don't think it was a video specifically. And if there was, I don't remember. But
Okay.
I do remember like 2 years into it, I'm like, okay, I see okay. Actually, there is a video.
Okay.
So if I can recall, because it's been a while, if I can recall, I think the first viral video I did was with the kids. When they
Was it
called me
the, oh my God?
the purple when
Yeah,
they
yeah,
called
like
me
your complexion, yeah.
when I was doing the skin complexion or whatever. That was probably my first video that went viral. So that was 2017.
Okay.
So a year into it, when I seen the reactions and like how 50 Cent, Shaq, everybody's reposting it. And
Hold on. So 50 Cent and Shaq reposted your video?
Yeah. So like,
Boom!
Yeah, but and in that moment, I thought I was gonna make it. I'm like, dang, like I don't gotta work no more. I'm good.
I'm good.
Like, I've made it in life, and that was such a shatter because I definitely did not. I had to go back to my parents' shop and work them long hours, sell pounded yams,
The meat.
fufu, meat. I was a meat cutter.
Yeah, I remember going
everything
into
at
the
once.
store and like all you would smell is the meat. I remember.
I was a meat cutter. I was a person at the register. I was the person stocking the stuff. I did everything at once, man. It was a nightmare. But at the same time, I did learn some things.
What did you learn?
I learned that you can become your own boss in those
Right.
type of. Put that aside. I think that me working in the store kind of put me in a gear to where like I could just focus and like work hard and gear towards what I want to do. Just by seeing my parents and
Right.
like going for what they went for when it comes to accomplishing the store, and making it. You know, they went from living in New York, selling all their furniture
Wow.
just to move to a better place in Maryland. So honestly, sorry, it was New York, Baltimore, then Maryland. So when they went to Maryland, we were in a decent place. We were in a townhouse, you know. From living in a store, right?
You used to live in a store?
Yeah, we used to live upstairs in the store.
Wow.
And then into a townhouse, you know, giving us somewhat of better education.
Right.
And just seeing the levels of how they got so far. And then moving from that into a bigger house just by believing in themselves, going after their dreams and
Grinding.
straight up grinding. So it kind of put into perspective for me that, you know, I can do it too.
It's
you
possible.
know? Yeah, it's very possible.
Okay. So Shaq, 50 Cent,
Oh, yeah.
they're pushing out and reposting your video.
Yeah.
But your reality hasn't changed, right? Your wallet and everything hasn't changed. But I think you
Bro.
tasted a glimpse of like, hey, if I keep at it, this stuff works. Was that the drive that kept you going?
Not really. Kind of. I think for me, when that happened, I didn't really know how to handle it. So I'm like, okay, so if I do another video like that, the same thing's gonna happen. I did multiple videos like that in different ways. Definitely did not happen. So I'm like, okay, now I gotta go back to the drawing board and figure out what do I need to change? What do I need to do differently to where like I can...
So you were testing and learning.
Yeah. I was testing and learning at the same time. And for a year, I decided to do this African dad skits and,
Right.
you know, do all these different things. And I don't know how, but dancing came into play. And the first video I decided to do dancing aside of a car was Cardi B's song called Drip. I forgot. Yeah, it's called Drip or something like that. That went viral. She posted it. People started reposting it. I'm like, okay. So I changed it up. It's possible to go viral twice. I thought going viral, it's only like a one-time thing.
Right.
Like ever.
Right.
So when that happened, I'm like, okay. So I know I've gone viral twice. I can do it again, but now I got to figure out how I can do it again. So I'm doing the same thing over and over, and, you know, it didn't work, you know? It didn't work for me. So eventually, I just met up with the hype man, you know? I met up with the hype man, and me and him used to go to high school. We went to high school in 9th grade, and then we separated, and we came back a couple years later. And once me and him met up, you know, he was like, yo, you know, can you put me in a video? Can you do something? I'm like, I don't know where to put you, bro. Like, I don't know. So one time, I was like, okay. It was me, him, and another friend. I'm like, okay, let's go to this McDonald's. I want to dance in front of this McDonald's and act like I found a McDonald's that has a working ice cream
Machine. Right.
So I walk out, and I'm dancing. I hear somebody hyping me up, you know, because originally he wasn't supposed to hype me up. It was my other friend.
Right.
And he decides to jump in and hype me up. And I'm like, yo, you can hype, you know, like you.
There's something here.
Yeah, there's something good, you know, that we can implement in this. So once that happened, we kind of went to the drawing board, just trying to figure out different things. And there was this one video, the Yo Gotti, I forgot the song title, but that video kind of changed everything for us because it went viral again, but it went viral like urbanly, like.
Right.
And yeah, it just kept going and going and going and up until the Friday song, and the Friday song is what changed my everything. It changed everything for me, you know.
So the key lesson here, guys, is that don't give up too soon, right? Because if he had given up after the first viral video, you probably wouldn't have gotten to Friday. You'd probably still be in the grocery store. And then the other thing, too, is that you want to test and learn. So if you try something and if it doesn't really work, try something else. And you just keep making some tweaks and optimizations, and then you land on a concept that literally blows you up. But before Friday, I actually have a favorite one that I liked that really caught my attention. I was like, I think Jeffrey's onto something. And it was around Thanksgiving. And there was this lady was saying, "Oh my God, I got chicken." You remember that one? For me, that was like probably the most, like my favorite one.
Really?
And yeah, I was sending it to everybody. Like I was sending it to everybody. And we're going to post the link of it in the description. And that's when I was like, I think you're onto something. And then by the time you got to Friday, for me, I kind of like knew that you were kind of like on that path where you were going to eventually get there. Right. Because there's sometimes when success becomes just a matter of time.
Correct.
Right. And then like when you're starting out, you're not really quite sure, like, am I going to get there or not? Right. So for you, it was now just kind of like, hey, if he doesn't give up, if he just keeps on doing it, he's going to get there. So with Friday, tell me what happened. Was it just you selecting a song to say, like, I think this is a good song? And the second part is, did you know that it was actually going to then lead you to kind of like blowing up? Because I think that song opened many doors, right? I see you like on stage with so many different people. You're hanging out with Kanye at his ranch. You know, now you're even doing the same song with Scooter Braun. So help me understand what the Friday video did for your career and everything that happened after that.
Yeah, so when it came to the Friday video, like I was saying before, I did like a rap song. So when I did that rap song, we were doing different rap songs.
Right.
As far as dancing to them. And then, you know, I like different types of music, not just only rap. So there was a house song that I always wanted to do, which is Push the Feeling by Nightcrawler, MK Edit. Shout out to MK. So I told the hype man, I thought the hype man was going to be like, nah, we shouldn't do that. But I brought it to his attention. I was like, yo, I think we should do this video.
Right.
And at the time, we were trying to link up with DaBaby.
Right. You did some stuff with them, right?
Yeah. So that was before I even met up with him. I never met up with him. Never. I just did a video for him, just so I can get his attention. And he reposted it. And I heard he was in town, so I was trying to meet up with him. But a little bit before then, I was like, let's shoot this video, this Friday video. Let's come up with the It's Friday, then. Before, we was just trying to figure out what to say. Then I was like, okay, I'll freestyle. We do this real quick. We did it 3 times. We picked one video and was going to post it the next day. Move on to DaBaby. So I think a week after posting it, it went so crazy. Like, I don't even remember who reposted it. It was so many people. But
a lot of people.
Yeah, it was just so many people.
Like you even had like Manchester City play that song in their dressing room.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it's a blessing, man. And yeah, it just kind of blew me away. It didn't make sense to me. That type of viral, and then at the same time as that's going on, me and DaBaby is going viral too. So it was 2 viral videos at the same time. But obviously the Friday one is bigger.
Bigger, yeah.
You know, and I just wasn't understanding what was going on. It was just too much at once. But at the same time, I was grateful for it. Like, I've tasted viral moments, but not to the point where it's a possibility it's going to change my life. So to answer your second question, I did not see it coming.
Right.
You know, so yeah, man.
So what led to the song? Because then it looked like you guys then went into the studio,
right,
and then created the song, and that has also created an income stream and so many different things for you 100%. As well.
So how that song came about, we had to do a commercial for a hotel in Dubai, and while we were out there, we got my team got an email from Sony saying that they want to do this song with me.
Right.
But I thought it was a joke. Like, I thought that somebody's trying to like hack us or something like that. So I'm kind of telling
it was
my
a
manager,
prank.
Yeah. So I'm telling my manager, man, like, don't really take that serious because a lot of people do that. A lot of people be trying to, get us in, as time went on, we did some research, fact checked, and it's like, okay, this is legit. So
Right.
they sent us a version of the song that they had, and I was like, nah, this ain't it, man. This is not. This don't sound
They need
good.
to fix it.
Yeah. So I told them certain places of how I want to fix it and stuff like that. And that's what we hear today. That version of the Friday song, but the
nice.
version before, it was not it to me. And that's how that whole thing happened. And we released it, I think, in January.
This is what, 2019, 2020?
We were in Dubai in 2019, end of 2019. 2020,
Right.
we released it.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, that was, I'm trying to remember that. It was one of those years. I forgot. But it released, and it just started going crazy. I didn't expect it to go that crazy either.
I mean, you were rubbing shoulders with Idris Elba, like everybody.
Yeah.
And now, I'm in England, right? And I'm chilling with my nieces,
Right.
and we're just watching TV, like regular TV.
Mm-hmm.
And then this car commercial comes up, and it's you. And we're just looking at each other like, what? So now you're even doing commercials in England. You did a commercial, I think, for a beer company in Spain.
Yeah.
And what has come out of that one situation that has kind of been an offshoot of that?
There's been an off what? Sorry.
Offshoot.
Offshoot?
Yeah.
I think for me, like I was saying, I didn't expect all those things to come out of just a video that I shot.
Right.
And with our phone, or something as small as something as small as that. So as that is happening, it's kind of like showing me that this can be bigger than what it is, or what we've always seen it to be.
So it got you to start thinking bigger?
Exactly. It's brought us into the world of music, this
Right.
song, and then this song has also brought us into the world of commercials,
Right.
So it's kind of like endless possibilities. Like anything can happen out of these situations. So you just
Right.
can't think one-dimensional. So it kind of put a different perspective to me of how to look at social media and making it bigger than what it is,
So for some people who are content creators out there,
Yeah.
what Jeffrey's saying is that some of the content you're creating can lead to other streams of you to be able to generate revenue.
Right.
Because we didn't even talk about it, but your dance is now on Fortnite,
Right.
right? You created this dance, NFL players were doing it, and I think that's when you realize, okay, I need to figure out a way to protect my IP,
Right.
but also once I protect it, let me monetize it.
Right. Yeah.
Because a lot of people forget that when you create something, you want to quickly make sure that you have clear ownership of it,
yeah.
and then once you have it, you can then figure out how to monetize it.
Exactly.
So can you talk a little bit? So can you talk a little bit about that journey of you seeing that Fortnite, the Obeng dance? He's going to teach me how to do it, by the way. Can you talk a little bit about that situation and how you ended up getting that deal with Fortnite?
So how it was is that the baby, me chasing the baby, and us doing the video, and then him putting me into the music video of that happening. I guess a couple months later, they reached out and they kept. First, they wanted to ask the baby whose dance was this, or who's
Right.
And that's when they reached out to our team. Like, oh, okay, the baby and them told us that this is your
thing.
dance, yeah. So, we were negotiating and stuff like that, and it kind of brought it to my attention, man. This is not only a creative thing. This is we're in the world of business, with social media. So, it kind of, man, I had to act fast with a lot of things. I had to, and it goes back to my parents.
Right.
They showed me. This whole world of business. I think if I didn't have that entity in my life, I would be screwed. 100%.
Someone could have just taken
Oh,
it,
yeah.
run with it, made a ton of money.
From the shirt to the dance, like just so many things, and you see it in a lot of creators. They have all these. They're ignoring all these loopholes that
Right.
are they're passing up on all this money that they could be making that they're passing up on because they're not doing the proper research or they're not really learning the business. I think with anything that you do, you have to learn the business,
Right.
and that's what this whole thing has taught me indirectly. And once again, and shout out to my parents. If it wasn't for them, I would not have known to be more active in that space.
So
And it's really
kudos
saved me.
to Mama Obang and Papa Obang for,
Yeah.
educating you on that.
Yeah.
So right now, what are the next steps? Like, what can we expect to see from you as you now kind of like build on what you've already created?
Right. So, I'm not gonna go into too much detail, but I'm starting to dive into the world of acting and also
Right.
A lot more into the music space.
Right.
So I'm digging into those two and sort of exploring and learning a lot of things and also learning the business of that because every business, everything is different for whatever you're trying to accomplish, whether it's music, whether it's social media, whatever it is, they're all different and you have to be able to learn, to the T or as much as you can so you're ahead of the game or you can't get, screwed, And like for the music business, you have to know royalties, you have to know publishing,
Right.
you have to know, it's so many things you have to know or you will get screwed. Like,
Right.
and
I watched Akon, and I know you and Akon are somewhat close. Talk about this because he was talking about he would read the contracts, understand what was going on, and at a time when the ringtones were big back in the day, he looked at his contract and he realized that they didn't have a section for digital content. So then he went and really ran with it and made sure that he was in front of the curve to negotiate a deal that was lucrative for him. But other entertainers did not pay attention to it. And then the labels changed up the contracts. And then they just signed without like paying attention to like this whole digital space. But because he understood that vertical, he kind of like kept that deal as a separate deal, and he was creating music specific for the ringtones that he was making way more money than the regular CDs.
that's crazy.
So when you know and understand the business, it can add zeros to your check.
Yeah.
So make sure you educate yourself and don't just leave it. So make sure you educate yourself and don't just leave it for the manager or someone else to figure out. You, the creator, need to know because you are the one who's creating the product.
Right.
So that's super important. So getting into music, dabbling into acting,
Sure.
and some other secret stuff that you're going to be doing.
Yes. Some other secret stuff. You said it right there. Some
All
other
right,
secret
cool.
stuff for sure.
So when some of the new secret stuff drops, we'll make sure we bring it to surround yourself with greatness. So I want to ask you something. So this is not going to be in the cut, Chris. Okay. I have an idea. So the idea is, since you said you're going to bring back your T-shirts, your shirts, I want to say like, hey, sign up if you want to be on the waiting list to know when he drops the shirts.
Okay.
And then we can collect the emails. I can give it to you. And then when you're ready to drop it, you can then send a blast.
Okay.
But now you have a waiting list of customers who are ready to get that.
Right. Well, they can get, I have on my website as well, like people on the waiting list.
Okay.
So they could put
So we can use your website
Yeah.
to drive them. Do you
Yeah.
have the shirt?
Oh, yeah.
All right. Okay. All right. So I've been trying to get my hands on one of these famous Mufasa shirt. So tell me, how did you come up with this shirt, first of all? Like, what inspired you to come up with this idea?
So It's funny because, okay, so when I did my first video, my brother-in-law had a shirt, a replica like this, right?
Gina?
Gina, yeah.
Yeah.
Gina. It's collecting dust, and I'm looking, just to be funny, I just been like, man, you know what? I'm going to get a shirt like this and use it for my first video just to be done with it. And, yeah, I only had one, and it kept ripping, kept tearing up. So I'm like, okay, I
need to figure out how
I need to
yeah.
make a new and improved
version of this.
Yes. So, we changed it up a little bit, and that's how that really came about. The rest is history.
And I know you dropped these and you were selling them, and I think you're sold out right now, right?
Yeah, I dropped it 3 times. All 3
Oh,
times
wow.
sold out.
So are you going to drop it again?
Oh, yeah, I'm definitely going to drop it again soon.
Okay, so
limited edition for sure.
So in the description, we're going to put a link where you can go sign up for the waiting list so that when he drops these, you can grab yourself one of these. And I'm going to sign up as well because I need to get my own. So definitely that's it. So anyway, before we go, any words of inspiration for people who might be watching right now? Because it could be a kid or someone who's trying to break into content creation. What words of advice would you like to offer them right now?
I think, as cliche as this sounds, you gotta be yourself. Like, I created this character because, it's somebody that if you look at this character, he's goofy. He wears goofy clothing. He has a green and orange black shirt with
red shorts.
Red shorts and some dress shoes, brown dress shoes.
And then the ankle black socks.
Ankle black socks or whatever color you want, depending on the day. I think that I wanted to show people that you can still be cool, you can still be yourself at the same time. And like I said, that's why I created this character. So anything that you're going into, you got to be yourself. Because if you're being somebody else, how are you going to differentiate yourself from the rest?
Right.
It's like looking at a whole landscape of grass and you expecting it to be, different from all these other strands of grass, So that's kind of how I looked at it, and I think everybody else should look at it the same way.
That's interesting. And then how can people connect with you? I'm pretty sure people already know how to connect with you anyway, but for some people who don't know yet, how can they find you?
So you can find me on Instagram. I'm going to say Twitter, but Twitter is different. So Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok is CousinSkeether, so CousinSkeether. That's my screen name, or however they call it.
Well, we're going to have it right here, so people will see it on the screen. And
we'll
have it in the description as well.
Okay.
So anyway, thank you so much. And guess what? He's going to teach me how to do a dance. I'm not really good at dancing, but he's going to teach me how to do a dance. So stay tuned for this segment because you see Mufasa teaching me how to do the obang.
So you start off with your legs, right? So,
right. Like that. Hey.
All right, don't twist your ankles, all right?
All right, cool.